Hey everyone, ready to dive into the world of engineering? Let's get started. In this video, we're going to explore the basics of breadboards and why they're such essential tools in electronics. You'll learn what a breadboard is, how it's structured, and how it allows you to build circuits without soldering. We'll also look at why breadboards are so valuable for both hobbyists and professionals when it comes to prototyping. By using a breadboard, you can quickly test and modify your designs, saving both time and resources. We'll show you practical applications too, from building simple circuits for educational projects to developing complex systems for innovative tech solutions. Whether you're a beginner or just need a refresher, this video will give you a solid understanding of breadboards and their role in electronics. So what exactly is a breadboard? A breadboard is a reusable platform used to build and test electronic circuits without soldering. It's usually made of plastic with a grid of holes where you can easily insert components like resistors, capacitors, and integrated circuits. Inside, metal strips create electrical pathways, allowing you to assemble and modify circuits quickly. This versatility makes breadboards ideal for experimenting with different configurations and designs, whether you're working on a simple LED circuit or a more complex microcontroller project. Understanding the breadboard layout. Breadboards are designed to make circuit assembly easy. The central area has two sets of horizontal rows where components go, with each row interconnected to share connections. The sides feature power rails, usually marked with red and blue lines, to distribute power throughout your circuit. To use the layout effectively, start by placing your components in the central area and connect them to the power rails as needed. Staying organized with your layout can make troubleshooting and modifications much simpler. How to use a breadboard. Using a breadboard is pretty simple. First, gather your components and familiarize yourself with the breadboard layout. Insert the legs of your components into the holes, making sure they're secure. Then use wires to connect components and power rails, paying attention to the positive and negative connections. Jumper wires can help bridge any gaps. If your circuit isn't working, check for loose connections, misplaced components, and make sure your power source is working properly. Staying organized and labeling connections can really help with troubleshooting. Common components used with breadboards. You'll commonly use components like resistors, capacitors, and LEDs with breadboards. Resistors control current flow to protect sensitive parts, while capacitors store and release electrical energy, helping smooth out voltage. LEDs are great for visual indicators, lighting up when current flows through them. More advanced components like transistors, diodes, and integrated circuits allow you to build even more complex designs. The more you experiment with different components, the better you'll understand how circuits work. Building a simple circuit. Now let's build a simple LED circuit perfect for beginners. You'll need an LED, a resistor, around 220 ohms, and a power source like a 9V battery. Start by inserting the LED into the breadboard, making sure the longer leg, the anode, is in a different row than the shorter leg, the cathode. Connect the resistor to the cathode and then to the ground rail. Next, connect the anode to the positive power rail. Finally, attach your power source. When everything is connected correctly, switch on the power, and you should see the LED light up. This hands-on activity is a great way to start learning. Troubleshooting tips. Running into issues with your breadboard circuit is normal, but troubleshooting can be straightforward. Loose connections are a common problem, so make sure all components are firmly seated. Double-check placements to avoid mistakes. You can isolate sections of your circuit to test them individually and use a multimeter to continuity and voltage. If a component doesn't work, try swapping it with a known good one. Remember, troubleshooting requires patience and persistence. and every problem is a learning opportunity. Wrapping up, today, we covered the fundamentals of breadboards and why they're so important in electronics. We looked at the layout, common components, and even showed you how to build a simple LED circuit. Now it's your turn to practice building your own circuits. Hands-on experience is the best way to reinforce your learning. And if things don't work right away, don't worry. Troubleshooting is just part of the process. That's all for today. Stay tuned to TechBlueprint for more clear and practical engineering content. See you next time.